All right, get ready to feel old. September 6th, 2017, 8 years ago, the day that this video is going up, Destiny 2 released. So I sort of started a trend on Twitter a couple weeks ago, August 22nd. I posted this. I had seen someone, I think it was in one of my replies, post theirs, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I should look at my playtime. And then I did, and then I noticed a bunch of other creators were doing it. So if you want to know how to do it, you go to wastedondestiny.com, or you can just search time wasted on Destiny in Google. And I just thought it'd be fun to go through my stats now that I've quit playing and just see what 8 years of Destiny looks like. Because yeah, I really didn't quit until this year. So you can see your season rank passes. So legacy ranks 353, not really sure how they come up with that, but then the season started. So these were, I remember hitting 500 and Lost. I played the hell out of Lost, but it was also a really long season. And then Wish was like super long, obviously, and we got Onslaught and all that, which we'll talk about when I get to the hours. But you can also select this activities category. And I don't know how accurate this is because there's no way I spent 24% of my time in story. I could see 25% in Crucible because I actually used to play a ton of Crucible. And then raids, I have quite a bit. And dungeons, I would have thought would have been higher because I've just done so many like solo flawless guides and things like that. And then it also breaks it down by character and whatever else. So I deleted my Titan literally a week. Yeah, it was a week before they announced that you were going to be able to change the sex of your character. So I wanted a female Titan because they just look better. So I deleted it, and then they came out with that. So you can see D1, I was very casual. D2, my Hunter and Titan time is almost identical. And then I've always kind of been a Warlock main, so Warlock is a little bit higher. But yeah, I just thought it would be fun to go through the time per season. So if you go here and just go detail and click this, that loads this part. So Red War, there wasn't a ton to do in D2 vanilla, as we all know. And I also used to play other video games outside of Destiny 2 at this time. But this is just kind of when it was getting its hooks into me. I did my first raid in Leviathan, stuff like that. Curse of Osiris came out. Again, as we all know, there wasn't a ton to do. But I just really loved playing D2. So I still had 200 hours in it. More than Red War. Because I had actually created two other characters. So I was a Warlock main in D1. Only played Warlock until Curse of Osiris. And then I just felt like playing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a Hunter and I'm going to make a Titan. And I started playing with them. Warmind, I've said it before. And I said it in this thread. Basically, Warmind, as I have said often, is where I fell in love with the game. I did tons of escalation protocol for the Ikelos weapons, did prestige raids, and did all the raids on every character to fill up my armor collections. And I'm super glad I did that because the Leviathan Titan helmet is amazing, and it's just cool collectors to have. And yeah, so Warmind was just an incredible time. We got the Whisper mission. Like I said, escalation protocol was actually really grindy. I remember Paul Tassi tweeting when this was going around, and he said there's no way people played that much in Warmind. But I don't remember when the months ran till. Like Forsaken came out in September. I don't remember when Warmind launched. It might have been like March. But there was a ton to do. Like the Whisper mission had all the like the prestige variants, so you could get the Thousand Wings ship. And then, like I said, escalation protocol. The Ikelos shotgun was meta at the time. It was a heavy weapon because we had the like double primary system still and the static roll system. And that thing was super meta, but super hard to get. So yeah, people were probably grinding escalation protocol like crazy. There was also the sleeper nodes to find on Warmind and getting the, oh God, I can't think of the sword. Sorry, I had to make a cut there. I remembered it as soon as I stopped recording. The Worldline Zero. I was thinking Tesseract, but that's the name of the exotic perk, I believe. But yeah, Worldline Zero, you had to go find all these things around Mars and shoot them. And also Sleeper Simulant was out, and you could get Catalyst. They had introduced Catalyst finally. You could get it from the Prestige Spire of Stars. So I was doing things like running Eater of Worlds, running Spire Stars for the Telesto and Sleeper Catalyst. And back then, completing Catalyst was super grindy. So 388 hours in Warmind is not all that shocking. Then Forsaken came out. This is more shocking that I played less in Forsaken than I did in Warmind. But again, this was at a time when I used to play other video games. So yeah, I was probably just playing other stuff a little bit. Still a solid grind though, 300 hours. Season of the Forge was excellent. Loved Season of the Forge. Yeah, the Forge activities were really fun. Izanagi's Burden had come out. And then we had Season of the Drifter, which was also very grindy. You had the Reckoning activity, which was like super power crept. So it was actually kind of annoying to deal with. But yeah, Season of the Drifter was fun. Gambit Prime was cool. And to get the title, which I never even got, but it was called Reckoner, and it was like super, super grindy to get. So hence the big playtime hours. Season of Opulence, I think there might have been a forge farm, like an AFK forge farm. So I think my numbers slightly inflated here. I don't think I played that much because that's in the summer, and I'm usually doing stuff in the summer. That being said, Opulence was, and the Menagerie and stuff is like an all-timer for a season. Probably the best seasonal activity they've ever made to this day. And yeah, just Season of Opulence was excellent. So yeah, basically here, that was kind of like the first glory days of Destiny 2. Basically like the Taken King Take 2. That's what Forsaken was. Then we got Season of the Undying with, what's it called? Shadowkeep. And Shadowkeep was like kicking off the Light and Darkness saga, I guess. So I actually played quite a bit. And then Season of Dawn was actually a really good season. I really loved Season of Dawn. Very fun. Season of the Worthy was nothing to write home about at all. And again, that was in the summer. But this is when COVID sort of happened. This was 2020. So again, I think my playtime might have been inflated by that a little bit because we were all just inside doing nothing. We had that big event with the Almighty crashing into the tower and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Season of Arrivals. I loved Season of Arrivals. Witherhoard came out, one of my all-time favorite exotics. Fallen Guillotine came out, one of my all-time favorite legendaries, and based off Dark Drinker from D1. And I think there was a delay on Beyond Light. So yeah, there was lots of playtime in Arrivals. But yeah, with COVID, I guess, yeah, the playtime was very, very high all through here, even though here COVID hadn't hit yet. But yeah, at this time, I was getting into more like soloing Nightfalls and stuff, which was quite fun. And I was playing a lot of Crucible. So I had like 25%. Basically from, I guess, Forsaken start, I found a clan that was really into PvP. And this is when Pinnacles were introduced. So I got into like comp and stuff and grinding for Luna's Howl, Mountaintop, Not Forgotten eventually, and Recluse. Not Forgotten, I wasn't good enough to get it like the very first season it came out. I stopped at Luna's Howl because that comp grind was tough and I wasn't very good at PvP. But yeah, for Forsaken, I played a shit ton of PvP. It was just me and the boys. And then Undying came out and they introduced champions and stuff like that. And Armor 2.0 and builds and stuff. So I started getting more into PvE. Garden of Salvation come out, and that's when I met my clanmates. So then I was doing more like raid stuff. I did my first flawless raid, things like that. And then yeah, Season of Arrivals. This was smack in the middle of COVID, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. That's kind of like when I decided, but I didn't like actually take action to it for a little bit. It was Season of the Hunt with Beyond Light. So that's when I made the switch to PC, and yeah, so that was a whole learning curve with M&K and learning how to video edit and how to even record my gameplay and all that. So that was really fun. And then you actually see the time drop off because content creation is very, very time consuming. So Season of the Chosen was a decent season, but I was just playing less now because I was more spending time making content. Season of the Splicer, I didn't like all that much, but somehow I still had more hours in Season of the Chosen. Season Lost was definitely a season. I liked it. Season of the Risen, that's the one with Witch Queen. That was probably my favorite launch season. So as far as seasons that launch alongside expansions. So 316 hours, we all know Witch Queen was really, really fun. And it brought with it Void 3.0. and the start of the 3.0 subclasses. So Season of the Lost, I actually really liked because this was still the old subclass system, but at this point we had all the new armor mods. So Season of Worthy is when we got Warmind Cell mods. Season of Dawn, we had some other mods. I can't remember what we had with Undying, but basically each season here, they were putting new mods into the game. So I think by Beyond Light, we had pretty much the whole suite of mods. And then, the sandbox was just like really good by Season of the Lost. Season of the Lost was really good. That's when like Aegir's Scepter came out and they had like the Shattered Realm and stuff like that. So I remember doing like solo Shattered Realms and really just loving the build crafting at that time. And then, the 3.0 subclasses came out, which are great in their own right. Don't get me wrong. But like this era right here was sort of peak because you couldn't have like the best of all the subclass, but you had like the whole suite of armor mods. And those old mods, you could make like some really crazy and very niche and like very focused builds, like a sidearm build or a shotgun and fusion rifle build from that one Arc mod and stuff like that. So then you had Season of the Risen, 316 hours, Season of Haunted. So this I remember distinctly. That's when Duality came out and Solar 3.0. So that is when COVID was letting up. So I remember I like went back, started traveling again, just getting back to normal. So even though I didn't mind Season of the Haunted, just busy in real life, just wanted to get out of the house. As you can see, my hours were like crazy. Plus I was making content. So yeah, just very, very busy times. Sadly, I had more time in Season of Plunder than I did in Haunted. And I did not like Season of Plunder. I thought it was a terrible season. But this is when we got Solar 3.0, and this is when we got Arc 3.0. So Arc 3.0 was and is really fun. But there was that Titan build with Heart of Inmost Light, and it was basically, I just called it Grenade Simulator. Because the Storm Grenades were really OP at that time. Season of the Haunted had the Classy Restoration mod as well. So yeah, I was like soloing. Oh, right. Season of the Haunted was the Rezil changes. So that's when I started soloing GMs because of that resilience changes. I didn't like soloing GMs before that because getting one shot by like a red bar sniper sucks. My first one I ever did was Devil's Lair before that resilience change. And I just didn't really have a fun time with it because you could just die so easily. But in Season of the Haunted, they did the resilience gives you damage resistance. Plus they had Classy Restoration. So that's really when I got into soloing GMs, which was really fun. Season of Plunder, like I said, pretty crap season. Season of the Seraph was honestly pretty good, but my playtime was quite low. Again, I think it was just because I was doing content plus working full time. All this, it's like from whenever I started Beyond Light, I was also working full time while doing content. So once COVID let up, I just kind of wanted to get back to normal. Season of Defiance, so that was the one with Lightfall. Again, not an amazing season, but we got Strand, so playtime was low. Season of the Deep, I freaking did not like Season of the Deep. My lowest playtime of all of them. Then you got Season of the Witch, which I thought was an excellent season. Really liked that one. I think it had a fun artifact as well. And then Season of the Wish would be my highest outside of Opulence. Like I said, I think Opulence is artificially inflated, but this was the one big delay, 4-month delay till Final Shape, which was really good. They did that. And then we had Echoes, which I put a ton of time in, but again, this might be sort of artificially inflated because of the, whatchamacallit, you could like grind for class items, AFK, so I had done that. And then Bungie put the kibosh on it, so I stopped. But either way, still a lot of playtime. Final Shape was amazing. We got the Salvation's Edge raid, the 12-man Excision activity, all the stuff that came with it. Kvostov quest, getting the prismatic fragments. This was kind of the last hurrah for Bungie as far as I was concerned. Revenant is when the bugs started creeping into the game. And then it just kind of didn't let up. We did get Vesper's Host, so that's where I think I spent the majority of my time. This also had, and I didn't mention that with Season of the Wish, but we had Onslaught. I played a shit ton of Onslaught. Like, this is real hours. This is 500 real hours that I was playing. Onslaught, with the boys, it was just, that was peak Destiny to me. And then right into Final Shape, that sort of March, April, May, June, that was like peak D2. And then Revenant, like I said, bugs, but at least we had Onslaught, which was fun. And then Heresy, you can see that's when I just started falling out of love with Destiny because, yeah, like I said, mostly the bugs, but just also the design choices that they've been making. And then Season of Reclamation, I logged on for the first 2 days just to see what the armor changes were about. Made one build video on Liar's Handshake for the Prismatic Hunter, which actually wound up becoming meta, but I think I heard it got slapped with a nerf. But yeah, 4 hours, 42 minutes, so safe to say I'm fully done. And yeah, it's honestly hard to believe from February to now I've 75 hours, but really haven't played in like over a month. And yeah, just finished up Hollow Knight and really liking that. But I just thought it'd be kind of a fun video to make and take a trip down memory lane. Here is the tweet thread that is basically everything I just talked about. But if you wanted to see sort of what spawned the idea for this video, I thought, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to talk about. And there was lots of people commenting on this, asking where to find this. So if you're watching this video, now you know it's time wasted on Destiny, wastedondestiny.com. So that's it. Yeah, let me know down in the comments how many hours you have in the game and if you're still playing or not. Anyways, that's going to be it. See ya.